Kekkai Sensen. The OST is definitely to be loved when it comes to this series. Like, that ending song is so damn fucking catchy, and so is the opening song. Oh my god, I am growing very fond of the music when it comes to this series. I definitely am. So, this episode, getting into it, it's simple and not simple. Like, the main point of the episode is seeing Libra trying to hunt down these vampires. The Elder 13, I think that's the name. And you have it to where our main male character, Leo, he has to figure out if down in this, like, hole or whatever, in this fog, if, you know, the Elder 13 is down there. We come to find out that there is a lot more than they even realized, and there's way more than 13. And these creatures happen to be vampires, and the only way to see these vampires is by having a special type of eye. For instance, the God Eye. But what is really crazy about this is that our main male character, Leo, he got hurt when he was looking down in that hole at the different vampires. When he was looking at the Elder 13, his eye, like, cracked. Like, you see a cracking thing in his vision. That right there just shows you how strong they must be and how deadly they must be to be able to do something like that to the God Eye. So, yeah. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but the pacing of this series, or this episode, is off the walls. Like, it's just, I don't know how to really take the series. It's a really cool series. It's very engaging. It has a really cool universe. It has a cool atmosphere about it. Setting. I love the setting set in New York. I love all the different things going on in the series. It's so cool. But I have some certain things I do want to address. When it comes to a series that's like this, so broad and out there, that has so much information when it comes to different cultures, different races, beasts, demons, whatever, you know, just all these different creatures. And it has so much information to tell. Usually when a series is like that, and it's spread out and all over the place, it usually doesn't, you know, tie these loose ends by the series ends. For instance, as I have heard, this series, Kekkai Sensen, is only going to have 12 episodes. Now, depending on how it goes, it might have a season 2. But regardless of that, what I'm getting at is, when it comes to how all over the place this series is, there's so much information, so much different things going on with each individual episode. I wonder if this series is going to be able to tie in all these different knots and make it make sense. Because, let's face it, the pacing is kind of out there. Like, it's really off the wall. And it suits the series, but it is out there. And this is definitely, I guess, in some aspects, it would lose a lot of viewers. Like, if you were to sit down and watch this series half asleep, or, you know, slightly tired, or whatever, you probably would be like, what the fuck did I just watch? Now, thank God, I'm nice and rested up, and I got to understand everything. It just, there's so much going on at once that I felt like they need to slow it down just a little bit. Because it doesn't feel like this series has a real objective. Like, it's just going from one point to another point. It keeps, like, going back and forth like on a web. And I just hope it figures out what it wants to do very soon. Now, regardless of that, when it comes to the episode, beautifully crafted animation. Loving the animation. I'm loving the art style. I only have one complaint when it comes to the animation, and that would be, once again, the jump cuts. As I said in my last review, I noticed the jump cuts. Well, the jump cuts in this episode were a lot more obvious. Like, very fucking obvious. Like, you just saw one scene where nobody was talking. They were just sitting there staring. Like, imagine me just staring. That's a jump cut. And that's kind of what happened in this episode. I noticed a couple of jump cuts, and it just felt very weird. It felt very weird. I know sometimes that can happen, but I don't usually notice that a lot when it comes to watching anime, so it's very jarring how I'm noticing something like that when it comes to Kekkai Sensen. So, yeah, leaving off the animation, when it comes to the actual story, as I've already kind of went quickly over, our characters are trying to discover, like, the location and the existence and names of the Elder 13. Come to find out that the vampires, you know, they're vampires and there's more than 13. And also, one of the boys, like the King of Despair at the end of this episode that reveals his name, he's connected with the Ghost Girl that was introduced on episode 2. So, who is the King of Despair? He must be a very high-class member in the Elder 13. Maybe one of the top, because King of Despair, or I don't know. We'll just have to see where it goes. Overall episode, it's solid. I hope that the pacing becomes more fluid and the, I guess, story gets more, you know, I guess, linear, where it's not just all over the place to where we're like, okay, what is really going on? Like, hopefully that happens. But anyways, tell me your thoughts. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.